Oh, we're
Oh, that's
live
it.
now. We're live on YouTube. Oh, nice. Let me.
Oh, it's setting up a meeting for you. It's still loading a little bit.
Okay. Let me go check.
Mm. So besides business and going to the gym, like what else do you do in your day to day?
Yeah, I like to drink.
Water.
No, I like to drink whiskey. I've been drinking a lot of Red Label.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna. We have 2% watching. I just have to unmute my. Yeah, we are live on YouTube.
I think
So
there's four things I do, Gary. Maybe five things actually. I listen to audiobooks, and then I do some work, go to the gym, and I drink. And I think
oh,
that's about it. Who
oh
is
what?
it? Oh, hold on. Oh, I have an interview. I have an interview. No, I have an interview.
You can ask him or her to come on as well.
Okay, Gary, let's go on with the questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, right. So we're gonna do like a proper, a little bit of an introduction. Okay. We have 16 people watching right now.
Okay.
So
Okay.
how do I start? Okay. So right now we are doing an interview with VerumeCom, and this guy that I have over here, his name is called John. I met him in, I believe it was like around 1 or 2 years ago, and during the point of time, he was really doing over 8 figures in sales with e-commerce, and we got got to know each other. And then he started creating his own YouTube channel, making content for e-commerce in particular, mainly around one product stores and Shopify dropshipping. And I learned a lot from him himself, from John himself. I tried some of his strategies and they work really well. And today, we're gonna be doing an interview together. So John, why not start by telling us a little bit about yourself? What do
Okay.
you do? Doesn't have to be like a formal one. It could be like, doesn't have to, I feel like I sound too serious.
I feel like I told everyone what I do already. There's only four things. I like to I like to work. I mean, like that's one thing is like I really like to do marketing. Like I like to figure out how to sell stuff, and I think that's what helps me really excel in this space. Is because I don't do this kind of like as work. This is kind of like my hobby. Initially, it started off as work because I needed money, but at this point, I don't really need any money, so I just do it as a hobby. It's like kind of playing a video game for me. It's like figuring out how to sell products is like it's kind of fun. It's interesting. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a nice, fun hobby for me. And apart from e-commerce, I like to. These days I've been really enjoying like listening to audiobooks because during the quarantine I was so fucking bored. So I would go running every day for like 6 to 8 kilometers, and during the run I'd always listen to audiobooks, and then I kind of fell into just like always listening to audiobooks now. Especially when I go to sleep, it's like I have an audiobook playing. Holy shit! Oh, I close the door. Hold on, hold on.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah. Oh, where are you going? Oh, wait. Okay, and then
This is the most epic interview I've ever done.
and
Yeah, go on.
so apart from listening to audiobooks, I like to go to the gym probably every day. I'm mainly just going to the gym to I guess kind of stay in shape, and then other than that, I like to drink whiskey from time to time, sometimes, and yeah, that's about it. That's the only four things I do. It's pretty
Yeah.
easy. Yeah.
What about, it's interesting that you said, marketing it's kind of like playing a video game for you. And what is it about selling products that you like? What do you like about it?
What I
Yes.
like about it is like I like figuring out why people buy what they buy because it's like in my head I have an idea. I'm like, oh, this marketing angle is going to work. People are going to want to buy this product if I use this marketing angle. And most of the time, like 99% of the times, it's like the first angle I try it doesn't work. So now I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, how am I gonna sell this product? And like after like a few days of thinking about it, I think about like a different angle to try and sell the product. And that most likely doesn't work either. But eventually over time, after like a few weeks, I narrow it down. I'm like, oh, the people who want this product are really interested in these kinds of activities. So I have to make my advertisement in this way to get them to buy. And eventually it works. And when it works, I'm like, holy shit, like you see the numbers coming in and you're like, oh, it's like all that hard work and narrowing down all this the marketing, seeing that work just feels really good. It's like a hit of dopamine when it works. But when it doesn't, it's like I know it's going to work eventually, but it's just gonna take some time to get there. And I feel like after running a lot of products, it's getting better and better, as in my success ratio is getting higher and higher. Because before I always relied on the product. I'm like, the product is going to sell itself. But now I'm realizing you can sell anything, but some products will be easier to sell than others, while some are going to be a lot harder to sell. But at the end of the day, you can sell literally anything you want if you're good enough at the marketing. Like there was a dude selling a top for like $100, and I think he raised like $5 million for a top. And that's when I realized I'm like, you could literally just sell
like
whatever
a spinner,
you want.
like
A spinner, you just spin it.
oh, that's
You just spin it, and
like for $5 million.
it was selling for like $100, and he sold like $5 million of it. I'm like, holy shit, that's insane.
That's crazy. Is that with drop shipping only, or was he doing more of like a branded kind of thing?
Yeah, it was a branded top.
Branded.
Mhm.
And how do you? One thing that I've been really curious, and I think probably like many other people are also like really curious, is how do you kind of bridge drop shipping and branding? You know, how do you kind of see both of them coming together?
How do you bridge it?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so I think when you get started, you always want to get started with dropshipping because it's very low risk and it's quick and easy to learn. And as you get better and better with dropshipping, you learn how to use the advertising platforms and you kind of learn how to sell your products through dropshipping for free, essentially. Then you want to start bridging into branding because now you have all this information and knowledge on how to dropship. You could just take it and apply it into branding, which takes some more risk because now you have to buy some inventory, private label it, package it, which means that most likely you want to test the product drop shipping, and then you want to make a branded store with the product you just tested with drop shipping, and then get your branded store to work. But of course, it's going to take a lot more time because now you have to make original creatives, spend a lot more time on the actual product research, and look into your audience a lot more, and actually provide a very good customer experience because now you're trying to build an actual brand versus like a dropshipping store where you just sell the product once and that's it, right?
100% agree.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also like lately, I feel like I've been learning more about branding, and I also came to realize that when you're trying to build a brand, what you're really trying to do is you're trying to get the customers who are buying from you to love your products and your vision of the company so much that they are willing to tell their friends about it. They're willing to come back and buy from you again. And unfortunately for drop shipping, most of the time it's just first time buyers, right? And they don't exactly come back to your store and buy again unless you're doing something really different. And one thing that I always wonder is, what are some of the systems or perhaps like little procedures that you use in your brand store? Maybe it's getting like a custom packaging. Maybe it's having 2 to 3 day shipping to the United States. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, recently we were very fortunate to meet a supplier that's very reliable and has a US warehouse. So our process has been, we first, yeah. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, what?
I saw one shop.
Oh, John, you have a very interesting life.
Dubai.
It's Dubai Korean style. I think it's Dubai.
Let me see it.
Look good, yeah.
Oh,
Get us a
shit.
guy to come and join in.
Oh, shit. Thanks, Corn. Maybe I'll try it on.
I think look good.
Yeah, cause I'm doing an interview, so maybe I'll try this on. Say hello. It's my friend.
Hey, what's up, man?
Gary.
John is loved by everyone.
Holy shit! Thank you, Corn.
He collects shirts for you.
Yeah, maybe I'll wear this tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
It can be so cheap. Only find it by one egg.
Holy shit! Where did you? What store did you go to?
Santa Festival is new store. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna do a little clothing try on here.
All right,
Oh.
that's perfect, man. Yeah, fits well.
That fits me. All right, I'll be wearing this for the rest of the interview. I forgot to put
with your boxes on.
All right.
Oh man.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's $10. It's so worth it. $10.
$10.
Yeah, $10.
You got this for me too?
It's crazy.
Oh,
No,
man.
that's me, dude.
Oh, okay. Fuck you.
It's so cheap.
All right, I'll go there with you next time. Yeah, let's go together. All right, Gary. So what question were we on?
Yeah, so I was looking through all the questions, and one of the things that I wanted to ask you is what is the strategies that you're actually using right now in your business, whether it's like drop shipping,
Well, yeah,
or like the way you kind of view things as well.
So yeah, I could lay out the steps, I guess. So first, I find a product. Most of the times, I find my products on the Facebook feed or like the Instagram feed or Instagram stories. That's where I see most of the products these days. I do use Ali Dropship Center or Seller Pulse from time to time. That's mainly to see the order volumes on the products. But most of the times these days, I'm just finding the products from other people. Then I'll take the product, I'll make a dropshipping store. I'll just launch it really quickly. And for the creative and whatnot, I'll just take some from YouTube, take some from Facebook, and take some from AliExpress and Alibaba. And of course, this creative is going to be, it's a copyrighted creative because I took all the content from other people. So you're not going to be able to really run this on a huge scale because most likely you'll get DMCA'd at some point because it's copyright. But you can use it to test it and see if the product's going to work. So then I'll make a quick store, see if it works. And if the product is very easy to sell with the copyrighted creatives, then I'm going to make another store and I'm going to actually brand it this time. And then I have a photographer and a videographer, and he actually lives in Chiang Mai. And then we also have some people in Austin, Texas. And then we'll quickly find some models. Most of the times they're just my friends. And we just shoot the content really quickly. And we kind of turn it into a branded dropshipping store, you could say, because we're still not essentially buying all the inventory, but now we can custom or private label the product, put it into a custom package. And also we have a US warehouse. So the shipping times will be much faster. And then I can kind of turn it into, I guess it's like a semi-branded dropshipping store, you could say. And that's what I've been running these days because it's going to run for so much longer on Facebook because of the policy issues and Facebook just cracking down on the normal dropshipping model. So you can use dropshipping to test, and then eventually you should, if you want to scale big, you have to convert it into like a private. It's like I couldn't really say it's a completely branded store because I'm still dropshipping it, but it's like a semi.
So you're not buying inventory. You're still.
Yeah, that's for the majority of the businesses, but there's one brand that I haven't really revealed it yet because I feel like if I revealed it, everyone would be stealing all of my designs.
Yeah, you probably don't have to, Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna reveal it soon. But I'm gonna reveal it when I feel safe that like, oh, even if people started copying me, it wouldn't matter because I have so much market cap. But that time has to come first before I can start openly sharing. Right? It's like because it's like me sharing my other stores with people for free on YouTube. It's like I didn't mind sharing those because I stopped running it. So of course I'll give it out. I'll share it. But right now I've been running all these stores still. So until I stop running it, I'm not going to be sharing it because
100% agree. Yeah, I did the same.
You saw after I released the posture store or the mosquito store, it's like next thing you know, there's hundreds, thousands of clones. Exact same store,
Right.
same copy, same creative. And that's gonna
same style, so like Turbo Team, right? Everyone uses Turbo Team now. Even me, I haven't used the store as an example. I was like, okay, I'm gonna use Turbo Team because John uses.
And I see everyone, everyone's using the same exact like template and theme now to run their own stores. Like I've seen so many stores using the exact same like template that I've been using, which I guess I told people to use. So, but yeah, it's a bit worrisome when I release stores.
And do you think that kind of decreases the effectiveness of the perhaps like the theme or like the strategy that you use, because nowadays there's so many people that is following the same strategy that they're using. Do you think it affects you know what I mean?
Oh, so no, I don't think it affects it as long as they're not running the same product as me, right? It's gonna still like I talked about market saturation and whatnot, and even if there's like 2 or 3 people running the same product, most likely you're not gonna run into any sort of market saturation, especially with dropshipping because the market size is so big. But then if you have hundreds to thousands of people selling the same thing, you're gonna run into some problems because there's only a certain amount of people online on Facebook at the same time at whatever time in the day. So if there's like 20, 30, like $50,000 running per day on the same product, you're gonna run into a lot of market
Same
competition.
people, right?
So that's why you don't want that many people on the product.
Does it work for you every time? When you switch from like a drop shipping store and then you start creating custom content for it, and then you build like a new branded store of the same product that you sell. Because one thing that I found in my experience of doing e-commerce is I would find a product that is working really well, and then I'll sell it, and maybe it will sell for like a couple $100,000, and I will try to build a brand out of it. I'll try to private label it, but the moment I actually create a custom page and everything, the product just stops selling. It just fucking dies out. So I just like, what the fuck? What do I do from now on? You know what I mean?
I think the products I buy are the products I try to sell are the ones that aren't gonna really die. I mean, a lot of these products I'm selling are from like they were popular 3 years ago and then it died and then I just pick them back up. I think the majority of them actually were from like 2017 or something, and then I'm selling them again in 2020 now with a slightly more branded approach.
And you think it's because of the marketing that you use that help you to revive the product from 2017?
Yeah, I think so.
Marketing,
I think it's really
right?
the market. I mean, because dude, most of the people making or selling these products, nobody makes their own content. So everyone's forced to kind of follow other people's content to make their creative. But I have complete freedom. I can make whatever marketing angle I want because we make the content.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's the biggest difference is nobody in the dropshipping space makes content. Everyone just steals it. So the people who make their own content have such a big advantage, and it doesn't even take that much work to make your own. It takes us like one day to make all the content for a product.
Do you think it increases the conversion rate and overall profitability for you when you actually invest your time into making, say, like a custom video and custom images on the website? You think so?
No, I definitely think so. But the thing is, it's going to take you a few tries at the start because it's like when you first start, you don't exactly know what kind of custom content you have to make in order for it to convert. So I failed a couple and then it started to work somewhat. And now it's working pretty well. And I'm sure in the future, like maybe in a few more weeks, maybe a month, it'll be working extremely well. But it's just like it goes up in steps. Because at first, I didn't really know like what angles to shoot the product at and like how to create the video where it's like you got multiple angles coming in and really showcasing the product. And I'll probably reveal a store very soon because there's one store doing extremely well. And if it does ever die off somehow, I'll definitely reveal it. I'll show everyone the creative and whatnot. But it's not that hard to make. It probably took us about maybe 2 days to make it. And then a couple of revisions because I'm like, oh, if we add this content into it, it's gonna do better.
And how do you know that it's gonna do better or if it's gonna not perform as well? And how do you, like kind of tweak it along the way? It's something that I'm super curious about.
The thing is, I don't know if it's gonna do better, but
I just try it, right?
But I believe it's going to do better. I try it.
You just try.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, everything I do, I don't know if it's going to work, but I believe it's going to work, and I just try it. And most of the times it doesn't work, but the times it does work, you get all of your return back. And all the times it didn't work, it's like that was a nice learning lesson of this. You should not do this. You should probably do something else. And it's just a learning process. You just try it. It doesn't work. You try something else. It doesn't work. You try something else. Hopefully it works, but it doesn't. And then eventually something will work. And
one of like 10 times it works, and then
Yeah. But then eventually, after you fail so many times, you're gonna start getting a good sense of intuition, where it's like you have a much higher chance that whatever you're thinking is going to work. But it's not gonna work every time.
So at the end of the day, we still gotta test it for ourselves to see whether or not if it's gonna work.
Yeah. And even to this day, for me, it's like a lot of things fail. Like right now, I'm testing a lot of YouTube advertising, but
For your dropshipping stores, I mean, for your stores.
yeah. Because there's a store called 5 seconds or something. They're generating like
Right. I saw the
content traffic, and they're running the dirtiest dropshipping stores, but they're gods at marketing. Like they're so good at running the YouTube traffic. I don't know how they do it, and I'm trying to figure out how they're doing it with a slightly more branded approach. And it's not working for me yet, but I'm getting there.
I saw their website though. I feel like their design it's kind of bad. I mean, that's just how I feel. But people still buy from them.
Yeah, because they're so good at targeting. I don't know how they're so good at targeting, but I have to figure that out.
Right.
I'm figuring that out.
When you're making, custom content, I'm pretty sure you split test many different, videos, like custom made videos, when you're trying to sell a product on your branded store. But do you also split test the custom images on your website?
Not really, not that much. I have a format down right now for a new landing page that looks nice.
Oh, you see, you have a kind of format.
For you, Gary, I can send you the new landing page design. I haven't revealed it yet because I revealed this.
Right. Just send it to me, and no one else will know.
I revealed this new landing page design. It's gonna be a shit show. So I'll reveal it soon for everyone. But for you, I can send it over. You can take a look.
That'd be awesome, man.
I can show you like the custom videos and stuff as well too for this new product I'm running that I'm gonna eventually release as a case study. But I guess you can have an inside peek before everybody else, I guess.
Oh, 100%, man. I'm super like I'll be down. I'll be down to look at the store myself. Okay, let's look at some of the questions. Okay, let's see. And the literally just take content. The theme is booster. Hi, Garrett, John. So if you guys have any questions at this point, you can just leave it down in the comment section box below. And me and John will be happy to go through them and just and just help you guys out. Let me see if there's any good questions that we can answer. I think a good question I see is, how many creatives do you test with custom made videos? So like how many do you create when you test initially? Some guy asked this.
Yeah, the thing is I'm quite lazy, so I usually just test one now.
Just one, right?
Yeah. It takes a while to make it, so I just it takes like a whole day to make it. So I'm like, I test one, but then I'll test different introductions. So like different 3-second clips at the start. This is mainly for Facebook. I'll test different 3-second clips at the start. Cause I have all these different clips and I could try a couple of different ones for the start to see whichever one gets the most engagement. And then from there, I'll just run one creative.
And Facebook is your only acquisition channel right now. You're only using Facebook.
Actually, I'm using Snapchat, YouTube, Google, and shopping. But the thing is, Facebook's the one doing the best because that's the one I have the most experience in. But I'm getting better at the other stuff. So maybe next year I can release some information for other people.
That's awesome, man. That would be really great.
Yeah, because the thing is, there's not that much information on running e-commerce products for like Google or YouTube or Snapchat. And like maybe I'll be the first one to release some quality content for these other platforms because nobody knows how to use it really.
Yeah. So John, we have a question from Ethan and he says, what do you think about untapped products? Are you able to replicate a 10 ROAS super winner on an untapped winning product? Wait, this question doesn't really make sense.
The thing is, I haven't really been running any untapped products because it's like, first of all, how am I supposed to know if it's going to be an untapped product that's going to actually sell, right? Because you don't even know if there's a market for this untapped product. So then it's like, I would have to test a lot of untapped products to see if there's a market for it, right? All the winners I get are already products that people want in the market. Like I first check the market and see if there's enough people who want the product, and then I'll sell it. So I don't really run any untapped products. I go off of the data just to be sure that I'm not wasting my time on products that aren't going to sell, because I could try all these untapped products, but most likely most of them won't sell because there's no market for it. And so I sell mostly products that
it's already been sold, proven sold before in the past.
or people want to buy it. Yeah.
So that we have the question. Okay, I'm trying to find a good question too.
Okay.
I think we have a decent one. What was the most important factor to improve your marketing? I guess you just gotta keep trying and trying again. At least that's what I would say. What do you think about yourself? No.
Yeah, I mean, recently I've kind of hit this stage where I just started to see more clearly. I feel like before I was very blinded. I was fucking blind before. I don't know why, but yeah, because before, when I got into dropshipping, it's like I wanted money, and I was like, I have to make money to make more money. And
You're right. I know what I mean.
Because of this mentality, I feel like I was very clouded and blinded, because it's like I was just making stores quickly, just trying to make money, and I didn't really see the future for these stores. It's like I just make them, and eventually they would burn down at some point, and they just be gone. But somehow during this quarantine, after thinking a lot about my life and e-commerce and all this fucking shit, I read a lot of books too, but I realized, I don't even need money. It's like, what am I fucking doing? It's like, why am I why am I trying to make more money drop shipping when I could be actually establishing long-term brands and actually building something, But it's like with the drop shipping stores, you don't really feel like you're building something. It gets boring after some time because it doesn't feel like you're building something. So now it's like my focus is more towards actually building brands and establishing these long-term, because it's more fun.
More fulfilling, right?
I'm not even sure if it's more fulfilling, but it's more fun because you don't have to, they're not going to just die randomly. It's like you get to keep on building them and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. It just takes a lot more time and effort, but that's where the fun comes in, right? The dropshipping gets boring because you're repeating the same process over and over again, where you steal the content, you make the store, you run the creative, eventually Facebook fucks you and you're like, fuck, it's time for me to make a new one. And it's like the same process of like making a store, dying, making a store, dying. It's like it gets boring. And with this new approach, it's like I feel like I'm slowly building up into something.
I see. And the new approach would say is just getting like custom content, trying to think more about like the customer journey, the long-term vision of the store that you're building.
Yeah.
And look at more ways you can, serve the customers.
Yeah. I think what really that really opened my eyes up though was the fact that like I have enough money to live a long time without doing shit. So that means I should be doing something that I want to do. So that's why I've been pivoting into this branded approach, because I want to make something. Yeah. So that's why this is definitely the direction for me. Yeah. But for most people out there, it's like they're not going to have enough money to get to this step or this mindset where they can just be like, fuck the money. I could just work on whatever I want, So like first, maybe for most people, it's like they should get to the money first and then reassess their life values and go towards the direction they want to go to. But dropshipping will definitely help them get to wherever they want to get to. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of had that. I kind of have that. Like I won't say recently, but a couple times, throughout this year, just like wondering, like, wait, what the hell am I doing? And sometimes I feel like I'm just working for the sake of being productive, so I don't feel like I'm wasting my life. But actually, I feel like I'm truly not working towards anything. It's like building these stores. Like, wait, what the fuck am I doing?
Definitely.
And I feel like when you're trying to build a brand, at least in my own perspective, you gotta really come from a perspective of service. You're trying to think about how can I actually create a store that is able to bring the most value to my customers, whether it's through increasing the perception of the quality of the products, or maybe even doing some custom packaging on the products. It's like a different kind of mindset. You're getting out of yourself and you're building something that is more long-term and sustainable. That's how I kind of see it.
Definitely.
Right. Okay, let's see. There's a question, by Chris Lee. Are you a millionaire? I think the answer is probably pretty obvious. I would say it's a yes.
No, we could just say we could say maybe.
Maybe, right? Okay, maybe. Let's just put.
I like to stay cheap. Like I have a nice home in Chiang Mai, but our rent's only like $2,500 a month or something. It's like $2,500 a month, and the food
They'll get you a pretty big house in Chiang Mai.
I have a huge house here somehow. It's 5 stories tall, and it's fucking huge. It's really nice, and it's so cheap. And the food here is dirt cheap too. So it's like my living expenses per month at max, it'll be like $4K a month, I think, maximum. And we make that money in like, I don't know, less than a day maybe. So it's basically free. And everything else I can just put it into the business and watch it grow. I'm actually waiting for the stock market to crash to put all my money into. I know it's gonna crash soon, and some crypto as well. But I feel like I feel like at some point you have. It's like at some point it's like I have everything I need. I got my friends, my family, really nice food.
When you had the realization?
When did I hit it? I think it was last year when I was in my mom's basement, kind of reassessing my life for half a year, because it's like. For 1 year, I was traveling around a lot. This is when I first got successful with dropshipping, and I had just dropped out of college, and I was just traveling around, like just getting fucked up all the time and just having fun. And then I started to get depressed again for some reason. Even though I had a lot of money and like things were going well, I was still getting a little depressed because I didn't really understand what the values in my life were, and that's why I went back home. I lived in my mom's basement for 6 months. Working on the Verum eCom channel and running some other stores at the same time. And I was really thinking about my life because I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know what was important to me. And during that time, I realized there's really not that much. There's no secret to life or anything. It's just that I guess I must have confused myself by looking at other people and seeing what was, I guess, bringing happiness for them. And I guess social media is just so fake that it's like you think that you're getting happiness if you're buying all this nice shit, like you buy a nice car or you buy some like super nice clothes or you buy a super nice house, or yeah, it's like social media kind of deceives you into thinking that you got to make more, buy more shit to feel good. And that's actually not where you feel good from. You feel good from your closest friends. You feel really good from your family. You feel good from having fun and like enjoying experiences with your closest friends, not from like making more money and buying all this nice shit, because it's all superficial. It's like you can buy all this nice shit and meet all these fake friends and maybe get some nice dopamine highs from all the superficiality, but it's not going to give you long-term joy and excitement in your life. So that's what I realized when I was in my mom's basement, was that, it's like I should not try to make more and like do all this shit because it's pointless. That was like the first phase of my reform, and then I went through a second phase of my reform when I was in Chiang Mai quarantine. And I feel like I've matured a lot through these past I think the past year and a half, because out of college I feel like I was just a kid that had no clue what I was doing, but I was like, I'm making money, so it's like I must be doing something right. Yeah.
And during the second phase, what was it like for you? What were kind of the shifts in perspectives that you had?
During the second phase, it was really understanding how much I valued my friends and how much I appreciated them, because I didn't really understand that before. But I realized it's like, I think the reason why I'm feeling so good and the reason why I'm doing so well is because of my friends. They're always there to just hang out with me, always support me. And it's like thanks to my friends, it's like I never have to feel lonely, right? Because that's something I felt before when I was in college. I don't think I had the closest friends in college because I was feeling lonely quite often. And after coming to Chiang Mai, meeting some people, I came here with one of my best friends from elementary school. And I realized these are the closest friends I've had. And because I'm with these guys, I'm feeling so good all the time. And it just makes life easier. You know, you don't really stress out about much because there's not much to be stressed out about, you know, unless I'm like dying, it's like, I'm not going to be stressed. It's like things can get fucked up on Facebook. Like I could lose ad accounts, but I could just make some new ones, get a new business manager, make some new ones. And it's like every day you're going to run into some sort of problem. Maybe not every day, but quite often you're going to run into some sort of problem when it comes to business. And I think, you know, you don't have to be super smart to be good at business. It's just, you got to know, you got to be very resilient, which is you're going to get fucked up. You're just going to get back up and do it again. And eventually things are going to start to work out. But I think the reason why most people fail is because they give up after a few hits. You know, you get fucked up a few times and most people are like, oh, this is too hard, and they give up. But they don't realize that it's actually not that hard. It's just that this entire thing of running into problems with business is, it's actually just part of the business. It's like, that is, running a business is basically just running into problems and fixing them. That's literally it. And you just keep doing that. And eventually they're going to work. Like your businesses will work eventually, but you don't know exactly when. And the people who stick it out always do well, you know, because it's like I've met Phil, Mac, Dan, Henry, like everyone that I've met, they all started from like nothing. And I helped them out when I first met them with dropshipping, and they kept doing it. And now every single one of them are doing well, but they stuck to it the whole time. Like nobody gave up.
And I think that's really something that, you know, that that I really resonate with, that I think many people can learn from as well, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like in general, people, they give up too easily, and I think it's because they don't have the right reason as to why they're doing what they're doing. And without a right reason, you know, you won't be able to go far.
You know, like a lot of people from like America or whatnot, it's like we're kind of trained from a young age to go to school and follow instructions and get a job. And that's, I can understand that because I was doing the same thing, and it was very hard for me to get to this point where I have a completely different mindset now from when I was going to school. But for like Mac, Henry, Phil, like all of these guys, they dropped out pretty early on, and they had really no options. They're like, you either do this or you're fucked, and so they stuck to it, right? But most people, it's like you could kind of do this, or you could just go to school and get a job, and then eventually, when they keep failing, they're like, I should go back to school and get a job. It's safer, right? But for like all these other friends I've met, they didn't have a choice. They couldn't go back. They dropped out so early that there's no way they can go back to school and get a job. So they're like, fuck, I gotta keep doing this until it works. And they just kept doing it, and it worked.
And was it like that for you when you
I just really hated going to school and getting a job. So I was like, if I don't get this to work, you know, then I'm gonna do something I really, really, really hate doing. So I'd rather just try to do this or go broke, and just kept doing it. Yeah. But for everyone, the situation is going to be different. It's just they have to understand that, you know, in business, you're going to run into a lot of problems. But if you can just keep on running into problems and fixing them, eventually things are going to work out. Eventually.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Sounds like you took plant medicine, you know, while you were in the circuit breaker.
A lot of what?
A plant medicine, you know, like some heavy psychedelics, some ayahuasca.
I took some mushrooms. I think I took some mushrooms last year in Bangkok. But when I was in college, I took a lot of shit, dude. I did like LSD, DMT, what is it? Fucking MDMA.
Yeah.
A lot of random shit, dude. And through that, I learned a lot through that stuff. Because I was always
Yeah.
thinking about my life when I was on that shit. And it's been a long journey because when I was in college, I didn't even know why I was thinking what I was thinking, right? And it's like most people don't even think about that. They don't even think about why they're thinking what they're thinking. Everyone thinks like they're in complete control over their minds. But in reality, it's like you don't really have any control over your thoughts. It's like what I'm thinking right now, it's like, am I thinking it for myself, or am I just perceiving my own thoughts, right? That's the biggest question I've had, is like, it's like I'm sitting here sometimes and I'm just like, I start thinking about something randomly and I'm like, why am I thinking about this when I was doing this? And I didn't even like it just popped into my head for no reason. And I feel like you can only really perceive your thoughts. You can't really control your thoughts. But what you can do is, if once you start to understand that you're just a perceiver of your thoughts, maybe you can modify your actions so that you start to think differently and start to get better control over whatever thoughts are coming into your head. But
Rather
ultimately,
than thoughts, the way I say it's like the identity that you're attached to, the kind of person that you think you are, and then through the kind of person that you think you are, you have different beliefs, and the beliefs create all these like thoughts, thought patterns and stories that we have.
I think so. But ultimately at the end of the day, I feel like life is it's like a random dice roll. It's like some people get really lucky. You get like 2 6s, and it's like you got the best luck in the world. Some people are very unlucky and they roll like 2 1s, and you got the worst luck in the world. And it's like you can't really judge anyone for doing anything, because it's not anyone's fault that they're doing whatever they're doing and they're thinking whatever they're thinking, because life is all about luck, right? Because if you think about it, you don't really get to choose where you're born, who your parents are, where you go to school, who your friends are. You just pop up in the world randomly. Let's just say I'm born in like Indonesia randomly, from like an alcoholic dad and like a drug addict mother, and I'm just like I just randomly pop up in Indonesia with these terrible parents, and I grow up in a terrible home, and it's gonna traumatize me for the rest of my life, and also like put all these bad thoughts into my head and really shape the way I view the world. And through the way I view the world, I'm gonna behave in a certain way because of the way I view the world, and maybe it's not gonna be the best view, right? So it's like I just got fucking lucky as shit, dude. Like my life was
That's what I just trying to say.
I just got lucky as shit, because it's like I grew up in America, and my parents were fucking nice, very good education, and you don't really get this. Doesn't really happen to many people, especially because my parents are Korean. Like for them to move to America when I was 6 was a blessing, because otherwise I'd be in Korea like working my ass off in some company probably. I would never be able to think what I'm thinking today if it wasn't for being insanely lucky. I feel like I hit two double sixes. It's like my luck was 2 double 6s. I'm like, holy shit. I like just realized that, because before I was like, I feel like I was a lot more arrogant. I'm like really confident in my abilities, and like I can do all this shit. But I realize now that it's like it wasn't me. It was just luck. It's like everything I'm doing is not because I'm like super good at something. It's just I got fucking lucky, and it gave me the opportunity to do all this stuff. Because not everybody gets the same opportunity. Life is not fair, to be honest. It's like some people get very good opportunities and some people don't, but that's just how it works.
You believe that you are somewhat in control of the future that you want to create.
I'd like to believe that I'm in control over the future I want to create, but at the same time, I'm not really sure. You should really check out this book called Free Will by Sam Harris, and he's gonna really go over
I heard about
this.
it before. Yeah, I heard about the idea that
I really go over this concept of free will, and I definitely agree with Sam Harris. It's like I don't really think there's much free will in the world.
At the same time, I don't really want to think about that, because like sometimes I think about that, and I feel like whether or not we truly have free will in this lifetime, in this like physical body, it's not really gonna affect our level of happiness. I mean, the asking the question itself, or trying to find the answer itself, it's not really gonna. Maybe we don't have, but maybe we do have.
Yeah, I mean, nobody knows. This
Right.
whole world's a mystery. That's
Right.
I've been thinking about that a lot during the quarantine, because I was so bored. I'm like, what is this world that we're living in? It's like it's a fucking mystery. It's a mystery, and then you see people doing like the craziest things, and you're like, how did this person get to like thinking about doing this stuff? And it's like you just I don't know, and I've just been kind of thinking about life in general.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You should probably go and look into like some plant medicine or something.
So what?
Plant medicine.
Plant
Yeah, they call it ayahuasca.
Oh, ayahuasca. Yeah, Mac told me about it.
Yeah, he does a lot of it. Right?
Does ceremony. I'm too scared to do it, honestly, because last time I did DMT, it was fucking crazy, and I'm like,
It's a little bit different from DMT. It's not,
I don't know if I could do ayahuasca. It sounds like a crazy DMT trip for 3 hours.
More than that. I became like vegan for 6 months after I did my my ayahuasca ceremony. But we're gonna look at some of the questions there.
I see Sheriff saying, "Oh, but what if one person makes something out of the opportunity given and one doesn't?"
I like this. I like this question.
No,
Yeah.
the problem with this is also it's like a lot of it is based on the personality and your thoughts, you know, and that's where the free will comes into play again, where it's like some people are going to take the opportunity and some people aren't, but it all depends on your personality, which you get from wherever you're born and wherever you're raised and your genes. And that's why it's like some people will take the opportunity and some people won't, and that's still not really in your control, you know.
I think in my experience, it's also a lot about your perception. And I think I personally I believe that we're in control of the perception that we have. We can consciously decide that okay, I want to perceive things differently.
Yeah.
And because I've been reading, a lot of books about like from Tony Robbins and stuff, and he talks a lot about how you can shift your perception and why two people being in the same situation may, like for example, like a pair of twins, they may be brought up in the same environment and they may have like the same very similar kind of genes, but why do one end up being a drug addict and another one becoming like super successful?
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And in the book you mentioned it's a lot about your perception and the way you actually interpret your life, the way you actually view your life, how you actually consciously or unconsciously choose to view the events that happen in your life. Like you can't always blame those people, they may. Let me see. Okay, let's answer a dropshipping question. When you have been scaling for a long time and ad result starts dropping, what's the best? Okay, I think we have quite a legit question over here. Nick asks us, when you have been scaling for a long time and your ads start to die, basically your CAPMs are rising, the cost per click is rising, your ROAS is decreasing. What is the best solution? What do you do?
So I don't really think there's a best solution, but there's multiple solutions that you should probably be testing at this point when your ROAS is decreasing and you've been scaling for a long time. As one, it's like you should check the market and see if there's a lot of copycats popping up, because most likely if your product was doing good, there's going to be a lot of people hopping on and copying you, because that's what I do. I see other products doing well, I just copy it and I test it for myself. And everybody else does the same thing I'm doing, which is copying other people as well that's doing well. So check the market, see if there's a lot of people running the same exact stores, which means that eventually at some point, if there's so many people copying it, your results are going to go down a lot, because there's too many copycats in the market and you're going to be competing with all these people. Because the way the machine learning works is if one person sees, let me just give you an example for the posture brace. If one person sees the posture brace advertisement from you and he clicks to your website, Facebook's going to recognize, oh, this guy is interested in posture braces. And other people copying your store is their advertisements are going to also show to the same exact person, which means the same person will see the same posture brace advertisement maybe like 3-4 times in the same day from 4 different dudes, but you guys are all running the same exact stores. So that means if there's enough people copying it and they're all somehow scaled to a certain point, you're going to be wasting a lot of budget, because now this person has like 4 different choices to buy from. He's got like posture simple, like Mr. Posture, Dr. Posture, posture wellness. And it's like, oh, now he has 4 options. It's like, maybe he's going to go to the store that's selling it for a cheaper price. And that's going to really screw up your ROAS. But another thing another thing you can do is test a new creative, because at some point, I mean, I ran one creative for like 50 million views or something, and I think it could have continued to keep doing well. But I think at some point, eventually, your creative's gonna definitely burn out. Maybe at like 100 million views or something, because the Facebook audience size is only, I think Facebook goes up to like 2 or 3 billion people on there if you go worldwide. Not exactly sure how many people are on there, but probably around 100 million. It's gonna definitely burn out, because there's only a certain amount of people interested in a posture brace, which means that eventually you're going to have to make a new creative and see if that works. But even then, it might not work, because if you've sold enough of these single products, there's going to be nobody to buy it after some point. And that's why it's like, going forward for me, because it's like, but to get to this scale, it's like you got to be pretty fucking good to get to this scale, which means that for most people, it's like you can make like $1 million, and it's like that's going to be a lot of money. I don't even know if most people will ever get to that point, but after some point, you'll get to $1 million, make that, get the capital, and then the next step going forward would be going with the more branded approach, where you're setting up like a posture branded store where you're providing nice products, retaining customers, and continuing to sell them over a long period of time on other posture branded products. And that's what everyone should do eventually at some point. But first, get a lot of experience with dropshipping, and then scale into this other branded approach, because dropshipping will give you a lot of experience for free, basically.
100% agree. Yeah. And we have another question here that I think it's really, really awesome. This guy asks, if you have to start from zero again, how much will you save up before you start doing dropshipping, and what will you do instead? How will you start again if you had to start from zero with the current knowledge that you have right now?
Yeah, if I had to start from zero, I mean, maybe I'd get actually, I wouldn't get a job. I would probably just make some money on the internet first. Maybe there's some affiliate marketing, some CPA marketing, maybe some SEO to build up some initial capital for.
How much would that be?
I think for me, I would like to get about $5,000. But it's like, if for most people, it's like they'll probably start at 500 or 1,000. But for me personally, I would like to start with 5,000, because that gives me a lot more room to test and fail. Because it's like it's like having a much higher testing budget lets me really know for certain that a product's going to work. Because I could throw a product after $500, but a lot of times it's like, if I can somehow get to the $2,000 or $3,000, by that time I've optimized the funnel, I've optimized the creative, and it actually starts to become profitable. But maybe the initial $500 a lot of times is not going to be enough, because with that much data, I can't really fully optimize everything, right? Because let's say I'm testing out the landing page, I get like 700 clicks to the website, and I see that the conversion rate isn't doing that well. But at the same time, I'm not really certain that whether Facebook has fully optimized, the pricing is correct, the landing page looks good, or it's the issue with the creative. But as I continue to spend more, I can start to see, there's an issue with the creative, I gotta change this. The pricing is too high, I gotta lower that. The landing page doesn't look that good, the copy isn't that good, I should probably change that. And eventually by the $2,000 mark, it's like, I know, it's like I have all of this stuff fixed, and then I have $3,000 more to continue scaling. And when I started off, I didn't have any credit cards, so I just scaled very slowly, waited for the cash to come in, and then used that to put it back in. And I slowly scaled it until I had like 50,000 in the bank, and then I could start scaling a lot faster. And that's how I would start if I had to start over again. Make some money with affiliates, just basically just internet marketing in general. If I have nothing, because with affiliate marketing you can make money from nothing. I could just whip up a website, put some affiliate links, rank it up with some SEO, and make free cash, right? Because I still have Amazon websites running, and they're making like $500 a month, sometimes 1,000, and I don't have to do anything. I haven't touched them for 3 years, and they've been making like $500 to $1,000 a month on autopilot without me having to do a single thing. But it took me like 6 months to rank the websites. And then with some CPA marketing, you can make some like random YouTube videos promoting your CPA links. And that was working really well for me at some point. And I could do that to make money again from absolutely nothing. Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways on the internet to make money from nothing, right? I could provide services on Fiverr, like making video creatives for people or something, and make my money from that. And then eventually scale into eCommerce with the profits I make.
Right.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I don't really know. I have no clue, because I feel like the way I think is always changing. It's like from last year to this year, it's changed, and from 2 years ago, it's changed a lot. And every time it changes, I want to do something differently. And I feel like it's best to just live day by day for me, and just like go with the flow, enjoy it. I don't really think too far into the future. I feel like nobody knows what's in the future. You can't really expect yourself to be doing something in 5 years. I'll probably be a completely different person in 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess we can kind of like wrap up this interview. It's been around like 55 minutes. So is there anything that you wanna share? Like perhaps this guy was asking, is there any paid mentorship groups that you're in? How do you learn so much about Facebook so fast? Do you want to answer this one last question? Is there any paid mentorship groups that you are currently in to learn about Facebook marketing, to learn about dropshipping and e-commerce?
I'm not in any groups or anything, but I'm in a nice friend group where all of my friends give me information. I have all these friends, like everyone's doing dropshipping, like you, Gary, Tanvir, Henry. I mean, I have so many friends who are doing dropshipping, and every day it's like somebody else is like, "Yo, John, like there's this new strategy, or check out this new product." I'm like, "Oh, this is a good product." And like, Dennis started dropshipping, I think in February or January, and then he was in our Facebook group, and I'm like looking for an editor, and I hired Dennis because he seemed like a pretty fun guy, and I invited him out to Thailand, and we partied together. And then he went back, and he learned. I think he learned a good amount editing videos next to me, seeing all the strats I was doing, the products I was selling, and now he's doing really good. And Dennis is always sending me information as well. He's like, "Yo, John, you gotta check this out. Like, there's this new advertising method," and Dennis has been giving me a lot of information. I got Mark. Fuck, dude. There's so many. Like I could just read through my Skype chats right here and just
Kind of like just your friends, like your friends who do dropshipping, and I
every
agree as well. I think we all need to have
every day I
a
wake
close
up
network
with
of
like 10
friends.
messages from different people, like trying to explain something new to me. And it's like they tell me some stuff, I tell them some stuff, and it's like it just goes back and forth. And I
Right.
feel like everyone that I know they're pretty transparent, so it's pretty easy to share information between us. Yeah.
So I guess the lesson for all of us is to have friends like that.
Yeah, I think
Friends were, doing
I think
dropshipping.
the paid groups could be nice, but if somebody's trying to make money from the paid group, I feel like the information might not be as good as the friends I have who are just not trying to make money, but they're just trying to share the information because they're excited about it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
different kind of vibe.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And it's like I could definitely make a paid mentorship group or whatnot, but at the same time, I'm not confident that I'm gonna be that excited about like mentoring a shit ton of people and like responding to everyone's questions and stuff. And that's why like in the course I didn't say I was gonna have like a live call every week or something because I wasn't confident that I'd be responsible enough to host a live call every week,
Right.
make sure the price of course is $99 so that it's like you buy it and it's like there's so much content in there, you're gonna be very happy with the value you're getting. But I'm not gonna like overpromise you saying, oh, you're gonna have 100% chance of succeeding in dropshipping. I'm gonna give you this live coaching group call every week and all this other stuff. I sold it for very cheap. People get it. There's a lot of value, and it's like I hope you're gonna have a very high chance of success after you go through the course, but I can't guarantee it. And I hope the value of the course is good enough. And maybe in the future, or not in the future, once I update it with the case study, it'll be a lot better, I think.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the course? Like, what do you teach in the course? Maybe people who are watching this right now may actually be interested in it.
I think in the course, I just lay out the exact steps that a beginner needs to take in order to make a store, write the copy, like make the advertisements, launch their advertising, give them the ad strategy, how to set up the backend, like the customer support, the order fulfillments, how to automate all that shit, how to run a little, like we didn't go super in depth on the Instagram influencers, but we even have the Instagram influencers on there as well. And basically, it's just a step-by-step walkthrough for people who are just getting started to how to set up their dropshipping stores and hopefully give them the best chances for success because we've laid out the ad strategies for them as well.
And do you have content for helping people who want to turn a dropshipping store into more like a kind of like a branded style?
So I don't have content for that yet, but I think in the future I'm gonna put it in. I think maybe in a few months or so, because this is something that is pretty new for me as well. So it's like I'm just getting into it. So until I'm very confident that whatever I'm doing is working, I'm not going to be really teaching it, right? So I'm not going to just teach people how to do YouTube ads after running like $100,000 in spend on YouTube ads. You know, it's like maybe after I spend like $500,000 or like $1 million on YouTube.
100,000 is quite a lot to like most of us over here.
Yeah, but I feel like you know, until you hit like $500,000 or at least $1 million in spend, you're not exactly sure if the strategy you have is it's like a proven strategy. You don't really know for sure. But it's like the stuff I teach on Facebook, I'm very confident because it's like I understand how Facebook works. But on YouTube, I'm not that confident because I don't understand how it works yet. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, it's gonna be for anyone who wants to learn about, who really wants to master the dropshipping game. You know, you are doing dropshipping and you really want to get to the point where you're building branded stores.
Yeah.
And yeah, right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And where can we wait? There's one guy. There's one last this guy that asks, what advice would you give to somebody under 20 years old and wanting to succeed with dropshipping who have spent over $10,000
What
and have
advice?
been doing it for 2 years? So this guy has been doing dropshipping for
Wanting to succeed.
2 years and he has spent over $10,000 and he hasn't become successful. So
He
I'll just
hasn't?
kind of like share, I'll just share like what I would do if I were him. Then maybe John can give him some advice.
Sure.
Personally, for me, I would say you may want to look at the kind of strategy that they've been doing, because if you've been spending over 10K and you have been doing it for 2 years and you're still not generating the kind of results that you want to generate, chances are the strategy that they're using is wrong. And for me personally, what I would say is I would highly recommend you to go on to John's YouTube channel and learn about his strategy, because I feel like if anyone actually followed the the one product store strategy that he laid out, it's the chance of being successful with dropshipping, it's very, very high. So that's just my take. And what do you think about that, John?
Yeah, you know, it's so hard to determine like
Right.
I guess it's advice, but it's so hard to give the right advice for everyone because it's like everyone thinks so differently. So it's like I can give a general advice, but the thing is, it's like the way I think is so differently from the way you think and the way that the ecom journey guy is thinking. And it's like I would really like him to succeed, but I'm not sure if the advice I give him would be very applicable to his situation. But basically, I think the way you should, or basically the way I move forward with all of my businesses and the way I think is it's like I test a little bit. I never rush into anything. I'm pretty patient with the testing. I test a little bit, see if it's working. If it doesn't, then I'll go back out there, do some more research, and then if I get a better understanding of whatever I'm doing, I'll test it again, but just a little bit, maybe like $50 or $100. And then if it doesn't work, I'll just keep on rinsing and repeating this cycle. Like when I first got started, the way I did it was I had no clue how to drop ship. So I saw some people selling watches and I'm like, oh, maybe watches could be a good idea to sell. So then I just made a watch store real quick and tried it. It didn't work. So then I was like, okay, I got to try something else. So then I made like I think like a lost and found device. And I tested that and I'm like, I think moms are going to really need this for when their baby gets lost or something. So I tried that. It didn't work. And then I forgot what I did. There was a third store and I forgot what it was. It might have been another watch store that didn't work. And then I made another store. I'm like, maybe people who like to go to raves like hoodies. And I tried that and I'm like, maybe it's gonna work. And it actually worked. I'm like, holy fuck, this is doing great. And it was this whole process of like just constantly testing quickly and improving and just learning more along the way. And the best places to learn, I think, when you're first getting started is looking at other successful dropshipping stores and seeing what they're doing. I think that's one of the biggest places you can learn from. Another thing is the YouTube videos. You can just go look at other people's YouTube videos and see what other people are showing. But the thing is, you have to be very good at deciphering information because not everything you see out there is true. So like be careful for that. Like there's people out there who are very good at teaching and you can just see how knowledgeable this person is in whatever topic they're talking in. But when you're first getting started, you don't really know what's good and bad information. So it was a lot of trial and error for me. It's like I see some people saying like, oh, this works really well, but in reality it doesn't work really well, but they're just regurgitating information from other people. And you got to be very careful when it comes to looking for information. But now at this point, after I've tested so many things for myself, I can clearly see on like YouTube when I see somebody teaching something, I can see like, oh, this guy's very knowledgeable in whatever he's teaching. Recently I got like a YouTube advertising course, and it's like after looking at this guy's YouTube videos, I could tell like, oh, this guy's very good at running YouTube traffic, and I could just tell from the way he's talking that this guy's pretty knowledgeable. And then there's other people who are just selling courses to make money from the courses. So then you got to be very careful for that, because it's like you can tell from the YouTube videos this guy doesn't really know much about dropshipping, but he's good at selling his course.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so we are just gonna leave it over here. I'm gonna share with you guys the link of John's course in case any of you guys who are watching this is interested. I'm just gonna
yeah, I mean they can
YouTube channel as well.
I think everyone can check out the YouTube channel, and because the thing is, it's like you can get the course, right, but a lot of the information is already on the YouTube channel. And if you look very carefully at the YouTube channel, it's like that could be enough to get you started. And if that's not enough to get you started, then you could probably get the course and see if that's going to work better for you. But I guess the thing is, on the YouTube, it's like I have bits of information kind of randomly spread out across like 11 videos or something. The course, it's kind of more organized. But at the same time, if you're already into dropshipping and you've already spent a lot of time, the method I teach on the YouTube channel, it's basically on the course as well. So it's like you don't need to really get the course if you already know how to make everything else. Yeah, maybe
just check out his videos first, see if that's what you resonate with, and then if it is, then go and buy his course. If not, then just watch his videos, right? Okay, so we are gonna end this 1 hour long interview, and thanks everyone for coming on.
Yeah,
it was maybe right, and we're just gonna end it over here. So,
well, Gary, thank you for having me on here. It was a pleasure talking with you, and it was very fun.
All right.